You don't need a fucking morning routine. You don't have to wake up at 5. You don't have to do a 3-hour morning routine. Just get up and do the work. Most people we know, they're hoping and wishing and praying that one day these things come. Those are not goals. Goals are like when you actually write down what you want and you decide and commit that this is exactly what I'm going to do and you put a date to it and you commit that I'm going to actually make this happen by this date. 23-year-old kid who came to the gym and he had a Lamborghini.
Okay.
He had a house in the hills. He was a successful YouTuber. So I'm like, whatever this guy does, I want to do that. So I followed him. I don't have a warehouse. I don't have a team. I don't have any employees. I do have a few VAs now that manage our stores. But I mean, when you're initially starting, like when I first started, I did everything myself, obviously. My third month ever on Amazon, I did $25,200. Yeah, I think this is something I see in a lot of my friends who are very successful. When they started their journey, they made sure they have no plan B.
You had to take the most expensive gym membership to meet such people, yeah, because they don't go to the gym that everyone goes.
For 5 days in a row, New York had no shootings where anybody died. How is that something to be proud of?
Yeah.
How in 5 days nobody died? Congratulations, it's such a great city. On the 6th day, somebody died.
Were your parents calling you, just come back, Sal, you don't have to do that? Did they say that?
All the viewers are on the same page and they actually understand the technicalities here. We are saying a lot of words like selling on Amazon, Amazon FBA. Could you like briefly explain what Amazon FBA is?
Welcome to a new episode of Fairchi Podcast. എല്ലാവരും എപ്പോഴും ചോദിക്കുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ് പിന്നെ ഇ കൊമേഴ്സ് ഡ്രോപ്പ് ഷിപ്പിംഗ് ഇതിനൊക്കെ കുറിച്ചൊക്കെ ഓൺലൈനിൽ എങ്ങനെ പൈസ ഉണ്ടാക്കുക അതിനെക്കുറിച്ചൊക്കെ സംസാരിക്കണം. പിന്നെ നിങ്ങൾ അതിനെക്കുറിച്ചൊക്കെ എപ്പിസോഡ് ചെയ്യണം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരുപാട് ആൾക്കാർ പേഴ്സണലി മെസ്സേജ് അയക്കാറുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇന്ന് നമ്മളെ കൂടെ എൻ്റെ ഒരു ക്ലയൻറ്റ് ഉണ്ട്, സാലിന പുള്ളിക്കാരൻ്റെ പേര്. പുള്ളിക്കാരൻ US നിന്ന് നമ്മളെ അടുത്തേക്ക് വന്നതാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങളൊരു പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റൊക്കെ ചെയ്യാമെന്ന് തീരുമാനിച്ചു. പുള്ളിക്കാരൻ്റെ ജേണി ഭയങ്കര ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആണ്. ഒരു ടാക്സി ഡ്രൈവർ എങ്ങനെ ഒരു മൾട്ടി മില്യണറായി മാറി പല രാജ്യങ്ങളിലായി ഇപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹം ജീവിക്കുന്നു, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ആയിട്ടുള്ള സ്റ്റോറീസ് ഒരുപാടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് പുള്ളിക്കാരനോടൊന്ന് ചോദിക്കാം. സാൽ, വെൽക്കം ടു ദ ഷോ.
Sorry guys, I can't speak that language, but hopefully there's subtitles for you.
So, Sal, your story is quite interesting. You started as you are a dropout, then you started as a taxi driver, then you are in your 20s you became a multimillionaire. That's so interesting. And like, how was the journey? How was the journey as an immigrant? You had that American dream.
Yeah.
And like, you really did it well. So,
yeah, I would say there was a very small chance I actually make it happen because I made a lot of bad decisions.
Okay.
Before I was an Uber driver, I haven't ever talked about this too much, but before I was an Uber driver, I was going to university studying business. And the only reason I was in school for business is because my sisters went. They went to like private schools, 4.3 GPA, like, you know, perfect student, everything the way your parents want. They got into the big companies like Google and NASA. So everyone's like looking at that, and my mom and dad want me to be like that. So I'm going to school for that, and then I got introduced to drugs. So somebody I was close to started having me help him sell drugs. And I was young. You know, I'm a young 18, 19-year-old.
How old were you? 19.
Yeah,
So
like
what were you
19.
studying at this point of time?
I was studying business management.
Okay, it's bachelor's.
Yeah,
Okay.
to get my bachelor's.
Okay.
And then he introduced me to this. And very quickly, I started making more money than I imagined selling drugs. So I got too into it, so much into it that I decided, what's the point of getting a college degree if I make more money selling drugs? So I did that for a couple years in my early 20s until it got to a point where my parents never wanted to see me again. So they completely told me, don't come back to our house. Like, we don't want to see you. We were embarrassed of you. I dropped out of college, and I was also in the Air Force at this time, the US
Okay.
military.
So you joined the army.
Yeah, so I joined the US military, and they also kicked me out because
Okay.
I tested positive for drugs.
Okay.
So it was like I was just a failure in every way. And my mom called me one day and said, don't ever come to my house again. I don't want you to come around here. And that day is when I decided, like, I have to quit and find a different way to make money.
Okay.
Were you
So-
addicted to the drugs as well?
I say I wasn't, because for me, I feel like addiction is something in your head that people can control, but they don't want to control. I did every drug you can name, and I did it every day. And then I cold turkey quit. I was waking up and doing like cocaine every single day, every morning for breakfast,
Okay.
for weeks and months on end. You know, taking ecstasy every day for fun, not even for a party. Just I was waking up and doing it. And on the day I decided to quit, I just quit.
How
There was
did you
no, like,
escape?
my mom told me not to come to our house, and I was so shocked, and it made me so upset
Okay.
that I decided I want to quit everything to make her proud.
Okay, so you were so emotionally okay for that, yeah?
Yeah.
For your mother.
So it was so easy to quit because I wanted to make her more proud more than I wanted to do drugs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I quit right away that day.
You make it sound so easy because usually people who do drugs, it's not that easy for them. Yeah, I have many friends who are addicted and like they want to stop one day and the next day they just keep going back to it.
Yeah, I think they don't have a good enough reason to quit. If you really have a good enough reason to quit and you understand that, you want that more, then you don't want to do the drugs. Like, I wanted to make my parents proud and I wanted to go to their house again. She literally said, don't come to my house again. So I wanted that more than I wanted to wake up and do drugs. So I decided I have to quit. And I never actually thought about it again, bought it again. I got rid of everything. And I decided I'll start learning how to make money online. So that's what started my journey. Was I need to make money. I'm a college dropout. I also got fired by every job I ever had. So I basically had no route to take other than find a way to make money online. It was my only path I could take.
Okay.
So that's what really started everything for me.
So you had a mentor at the beginning to start the business, or?
Yeah. So the only guy that I knew that I ever saw drive a Lamborghini was a 23-year-old, I would say at that time we were kids, 23-year-old kid who came to the gym and he had a Lamborghini.
Okay.
He had a house in the hills. He was a successful YouTuber. So I'm like, whatever this guy does, I want to do that. So I followed him and I started looking at his social media, found out he does Amazon. And then one day he posted that I'm taking some new people to teach,
Okay.
but it's $10,000. And he just put it right there in the story. It's 10,000. Don't waste my time. I only had 7,000 because I spent all my money. So I had 7,000. I borrowed 3 from a friend, and I actually paid him to start my Amazon journey. So I paid him 10,000, and that was the beginning of everything.
Okay.
And if you could think about it, I gave him all the money I had and my friend's money. So I had zero to actually start the business, and that's why I started driving for Uber. Because he told me, hey, you paid me, I'll teach you, but you have to pay for inventory, for business startup cost. How are you going to pay for all that? And I decided I'll drive for Uber every day, save up the money, and then invest that into my first product.
Okay.
So that's what I did.
So
And let me ask one question. Like, do you think that was the only reason you were successful? Maybe one of the reason you were successful because you don't have any money. You put all the money into the learning this process of FBA, and like sometimes we must be successful because we put all the money into it and we don't have anything else. So we somehow have to make this successful. So do you think that was the initial drive for you to follow the process and to fulfill the course?
Yeah, I think this is something I see in a lot of my friends who are very successful. When they started their journey, they made sure they have no plan B. And my business partner, actually, Jackie, she had a poster on her wall in big letters that said no plan B, because this is exactly the way I thought also. If I give myself a plan B, I can maybe go back to school. I can maybe go back to a job. I can maybe do whatever the hell you want to imagine I could do. Then I'm not going to try as hard because if I fail, I have a safety net. So yeah, I decided like this is the only path. I gave him all my money and now I'm driving for Uber. So I have to get this money to launch my product. If not, I have no plan B. There's literally nothing I could do other than be an Uber driver forever.
Okay. So you suggest our viewers to have no plan B if they are going to choose an entrepreneurial path, yeah?
If I personally teach anybody, I would say create a situation for yourself where you don't have a plan B, because if you do, it's that safety net that you're always going to remember. If I fail, it's okay. And I don't think it's okay. If you fail, it's not okay to go back to where you were. You'll be there forever. If you cut off, your plan B, you're going to try so much harder to make sure you never actually quit.
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
So Sal, growing up as an immigrant child, and you had friends who were also from Afghanistan. So Sal is from Afghanistan. His parents are from Afghanistan, and you were born in the US. So how was your Afghani friends? They had the same mindset as you, like build something or do escape from 9 to 5, or were they just like, I want to find a 9 to 5 and settle in life? What was the mindset?
I would say, funny enough, most of the guys were thinking like me. All of the girls actually, and it's good for them. All the girls wanted to go to school, get a degree, graduate, and they did. Everybody in my family, my cousins, my sisters, distant family members, all the girls actually graduated from good colleges. They have good jobs and they're living the life they wanted.
Okay.
But all the guys did think like me. They're all like, I want to make more than that. Like,
Okay.
maybe it's the testosterone. Maybe it's like, we just want more
Okay.
to be a provider for the ladies. So all my cousins that I know, all my guy friends, we always wanted more. And I actually don't know if any of my cousins graduated college that are males. They
Okay.
all tried to pursue their own paths somehow. And if they did go to college, I don't know about it because I think they all try to pursue a way to make money, to just make more because you really can't make that much if you're working for a company. Like you have a set salary, you get a little raise every 6 months or something.
Okay.
It's not enough these days.
Okay. And what was your first store on a FBA?
So my first attempt at Amazon FBA, I lost $17,000.
17.
I actually made a fitness brand, and this is why I was broke. This is why when I gave my mentor the money to mentor me, I had no money left because
Okay.
all the money I had saved up, I had already used to do Amazon without a coach. So I tried to do it alone first time. I made a fitness brand. I made it very nice. I think everybody actually loved it. And I had no idea how to do online business. So my product failed on Amazon because I had no guidance and I really didn't know anything about Amazon.
Okay.
I made all the mistakes I try to help people not make these days. Like once my product got to Amazon, I thought because I have the best fitness product, it's just going to sell like hotcakes.
Okay.
And guess what? No one bought it because nobody saw it because there's technique to Amazon. Just because your product is in Amazon's warehouse, it doesn't mean everyone's going to see it. No one saw my product. It wasn't on page 1. It was like on page 20. And I didn't know how to go to page 1. So long story short, I lost so much money and that whole entire brand just collapsed and I had no money left. And that's when I decided I'll pay this guy to actually mentor me with the remainder of my savings because it was like somehow, some way I have to make it. And he had the Lamborghini and I'm like, whatever he does, he knows what he's doing.
Okay.
Just the guy with
So-
the Lamborghini.
So the fitness shop was not successful. Then what did you start after that?
Yeah, the fitness shop was a complete fail. After that, with my coach, when I finally did it right the first time,
Okay.
we launched a pet brand. So
brand, okay.
we launched a pet brand because I had a little dog and I started buying things for my dog on Amazon and they always broke or it was bad quality. So when he started teaching me how to sell on Amazon, he said, think of stuff that you would buy that maybe you would actually make better. And I was like, okay, I buy a lot of stuff for my dog. So I used the software, I looked at the analytics and I saw these products are making a lot of money. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So we made our own version of those products and
Okay.
put them on Amazon. And that was the first successful product I had on Amazon it was actually a dog bag. You just wear it and your dog sits in it.
Okay.
I had a little dog, so
Okay. No, just sorry to cut you out, but just so that all the viewers are on the same page and they actually understand the technicalities here, we are saying a lot of words like selling on Amazon, Amazon FBA. Could you like briefly explain what Amazon FBA is? What do you mean by selling on Amazon?
yeah, when you're selling on Amazon, there's a couple different ways to do it. One way you guys might have heard of is where people go to stores like discount stores and they buy stuff like Gillette, like shaving stuff, shampoo, like Prime, energy drink, Red Bull. They buy these brand name stuff and they resell it on Amazon. That's one way to do it. I don't do that. The second way is where people are drop shipping. They find stuff on like Walmart.com and they put it on Amazon and they try to sell it for a more expensive price. I don't do that either. The way that we do it is we find stuff that is selling on Amazon where we can make our own brand. So the easiest way I can explain it is think about all your favorite celebrities. Kylie Jenner, Logan Paul, Jake Paul. Jake Paul just launched his W brand, like deodorant and stuff. Logan Paul has Prime. Kylie Jenner has Kylie Cosmetics. They didn't create anything new. They just took something everybody wants and put their name on it. That's what we do. So we take stuff that's already on Amazon and we think of a way to make it better. And then we hire people from, like, for example, our suppliers are in China. They make everything, they customize it. So they do everything for us and they send it all over to Amazon. Then it gets to their warehouses. And once it's there, Amazon does all the rest of the work. So we just do everything on our laptop. We're like the brain, but we don't physically do anything. We just
So you don't have
everybody
any
else.
warehouse or any team like.
No, that's my
packing?
favorite part about this is I don't have a warehouse. I don't have a team. I don't have any employees. I do have a few VAs now that manage our stores. But I mean, when you're initially starting, like when I first started, I did everything myself, obviously. It was me, my laptop, and that's it. And I ran the entire operation from my laptop. So I managed everything. my supplier in China is doing half the work, and then Amazon's doing half the work. So they're doing all the labor. I never saw one customer's name. I never shipped anything. I never talked to anybody. I literally did nothing as far as like labor goes. I just managed how my product is functioning and going on Amazon
Okay.
with like managing the ads and things like that.
So how do you find the Chinese supplier, like through AliExpress, or is there
So-
any specific website?
Yeah, this is a good question because there's so many you probably have heard of, but
Yeah.
the honest truth is there's only one website we all use, and it's Alibaba.com.
Mm-hmm.
So we only use Alibaba. It's like it's after Amazon, it's the biggest online marketplace. And 70% or more of the stuff you buy on Amazon is probably from Alibaba. But
Okay.
people are not going to go there. By the way, if you're listening to this, you're like, I'll just go to Alibaba and buy stuff. You're not going to do that because it'll take 2 weeks to get to you, or maybe more, and it might be bad quality.
Yeah.
So everyone shops on Amazon because you can read the reviews. It gets to you in like 1 to 2 days. So we just basically become the middleman. We get it from Alibaba to Amazon and then sell it to people.
So, like, what is the biggest you made at the beginning? Like, you heard that, okay, I became successful after seeing some sales in few days, and like, how much was the first sale? Like, how did you feel that? Like, how much you make at the beginning?
So this is a funny story. By the way, I love my mentor. He's still a good friend of mine and everything. But I paid him $10,000, and my first month selling on Amazon, I was hoping I make some profit. So
Okay.
my first month is done. I spent $10,000 with him, and I also spent about $4,000 on inventory.
Okay.
So now I'm down like $14,000, and I'm expecting to make something. My first month is done on Amazon. I made $800 in sales, not in profit.
Okay.
I made 800 in sales. And I remember I was in his house, and it's me, him, and his girlfriend. And he starts clapping. He's like, Sal, congratulations. When I was at his house, we had just hit like $1,000. He's like, you just hit your first 1,000 on Amazon. And he's clapping. And I looked at him and I was like, bro, I'm still down $13,000. What do you mean? But I didn't know. Like, obviously, it takes time to see success on Amazon. And it was my first time like doing it the right way. So I think my expectations were way higher. Like I'm gonna make 10,000 the first month. That didn't happen. But funny enough, my third month ever on Amazon, I did $25.2 thousand.
Okay.
25.
Yeah.
2000.
That was my third month ever on Amazon with like this new brand and with my coach.
Okay.
Let me ask you one question. Like when you started, how long have you been doing this Amazon FBA for now? Like
It's been 5 years now.
it's been 5 years. And let me ask you one thing. Like do you still follow the same process, or like you evolve some process like based on your experience? Maybe in terms of like changing the
Strategies.
or like the maybe the seller or courier or somewhere like how you evolved yourself, like how you see yourself.
So mostly everything stayed the same from 5 years ago to now. It's the same process to sell on Amazon. I would just say as you get experience, you take more risk. So in the beginning, I was told to stay away from certain categories.
Okay.
Like baby category, it's going to require more documents and certifications and stuff that's easily breakable, stuff that's heavy. It's like the most like obvious stuff that it's like, of course, stay away from those. In the beginning, if you're new, I also tell everybody stay away from these things because it'll just make it that much more complicated for you.
Okay.
But all that's changed over the years is you get more confident and you do actually play around in those categories. So like I've launched stuff in cosmetics, I've launched stuff in the baby category. I've helped members of mine launch stuff in like the toys and kids category, which they need like all these certifications for. But it's because over the years I've learned how to like submit the documents the right way and get approved for the right things. So I would say that's what's changed is
It is the
level of
same with
confidence.
any edible things. If you sell like food items,
That's the only thing we've never done.
Okay.
And I think I probably wouldn't do it on Amazon. They're
Okay.
just too strict. Edible stuff, it's like even if everything you do is right, they'll find something, they'll just make something up just to get you banned because
Yeah.
yeah, Amazon is very strict. So edible stuff we have not done.
Okay.
In
Okay.
Amazon, you have like points for sellers. You have like something like points. When a customer leave a bad review, you get low point. Is there something like that? Like I never saw an interface of the seller's interface on Amazon. That's why I'm asking. Like how do you get on tops? How do you become the top seller?
I would think most people that are buying on Amazon, like if you guys shop on Amazon, you probably don't go looking at sellers ratings. You just look at the reviews for the product you're looking for.
Okay.
So we do have like a system to make sure we get good reviews for our products. Because if you're looking for one of the pet products that I had, you would search that on Amazon, you would see 50 of them.
Okay.
And what's going to make you click on mine?
Yeah.
It's going to be the reviews, the pictures. So if you click the reviews and you read them and they're good, you'll probably buy them. So we focus more on that. And we do also have like a seller rating, but it's not something I would say customers are really looking at that much. They're people's like attention spans like a minute. They're typing it, they find the one they like, they click and they buy it. But if you have a lot of negative reviews, they're going to click away and buy the other guy.
Okay.
So what do you do when you get the negative reviews? Is there some way to remove it, make it
Yeah,
better?
yeah. Sometimes people leave reviews just because sometimes competitors, that a lot of companies from China actually do this. There's a lot of shady stuff on Amazon where companies in China, they're also selling this stuff. So they have their own like, you know, black market or black weight things they do where they leave bad reviews and try to get your product banned and hijack your listing. So you could report it. You could definitely try to get it removed. Or if it's an actual customer, you can try to resolve it with them and have them like update the review to a positive by like giving them another product for free or trying to just figure out what they didn't like and resolving it for them. So yeah, you do have a chance to fix it.
Okay.
And you are only selling in the US market, or you have like you are selling your products internationally? How you are selling?
Only US market. It's the biggest marketplace. And most of the people that we work with sell in the US market.
Okay.
Of course, it's good to expand, but I would say unless you're living in that country and you just want to make like a small percentage of more sales,
Okay.
most of the time it's not worth it to get the inventory, ship it there, deal with that, because the US market is just so massive. It's like it's not even close to any secondary market to try to sell in.
Okay.
So, yeah, go on.
No, so you mentioned that you were doing Amazon FBA just for 5 years, yeah? And you were able to see success in the first year itself, yeah?
Yeah. I don't want to say like I got lucky because definitely wasn't luck. But not only did I have no plan B, I was like actually literally obsessed with only one thing. I have to make a lot of money on Amazon. When I woke up, it's all I thought about. Every day I was watching YouTube videos. I had a coach, but I also had every YouTube video that existed, I probably watched. I was joining webinars. I was like, it's like I was so obsessed, you would think I'm crazy about Amazon because I wanted to succeed that bad. So I made sure like no matter what, I succeed. So my third month we did 25.2 thousand, and that's when I moved out of my parents' house.
What was the net in that 25,000?
It was like 30% profit.
30%.
So for me, it was actually, that was one of my goals, was to make 25,000 in a month. So when I did, I reached that goal, and then it opened up my mind to like, wow, if this is just 3 months in, 7 months or 8 months from now, I'll probably double that. Next year, I'll probably make a lot more. So I moved out of my parents' house, and then I like doubled down, started launching more products, helping other people launch products, and just focused on that.
So you were investing all the money you were making back to the store?
Yeah, pretty much everything. I did get a nice apartment, and I had a little bit of rent to pay, obviously.
Okay.
But I wasn't like traveling and, you know, going to fancy dinners, or I didn't have a car still. So 99% of my money went back into business aside from rent.
Okay, so what's the net profit that you made in the first year?
First year, probably like close to $60,000.
$60,000 net profit, yeah? Okay.
So-
and do you think that anyone who starts on Amazon with the right coach, with the right mentor, they will also be able to see such kind of a success in the first year?
Even if they are in India? That's the question.
I know a lot of people have tried from other countries.
Okay.
I personally haven't helped somebody in India. But I know people in India have tried to sell on Amazon because you don't have to be in America to do it.
Yeah.
But what I would say is it's 100% possible because we've helped other people do it. It's really about making sure, like I said, you focus on becoming the best on Amazon for your product and just focusing on this and nothing else. I think if people want to do this, they have to take it the way I took it, and my partner and everybody I know that succeeded, where they have to make this work and they're not trying to do 10 other things at the same time.
Okay.
Also, you were selling just one product, or you were selling multiple products?
No, by my third month, I had 3 products.
3 products.
So,
okay.
and the only reason I had that is because I had already planned everything with my coach that we're going to launch the first one. Before we even launched the first one, we already knew my second product. I already had the samples. I already branded it. The company was already making it. It just wasn't active yet because it's really hard to launch 2 at the same time. But if anybody is like wondering like how did you launch them so fast, it's not possible. I didn't find them all that quickly. It's like I had taken the time to prepare for this plan of I'm gonna launch the first one. I already have everything ready for the second one. So that was already like on the way to be shipped to Amazon.
Okay.
And then the third one, we already knew what the product was. We just hadn't created it yet. So we started working on that, paid for it. That one was actually shipped by air. So it was very fast. It took 4 days to get to Amazon.
The
which is
sample
very-
or the complete
The
product?
complete product.
How many pieces by
1,000 pieces.
by
Let me
flight?
ask you one question. Like all the 3 products were the same category or like different categories?
No, the 2 different categories.
Okay.
One pet brand and then cosmetics.
Okay. And I have one more question. Like I have seen many Instagram ads where some coaches come and say like Amazon FBA is dead. Don't do FBA in 2025. It's dead. Like you have to look on some other courses, and they are selling different courses, and I don't know like what they're selling.
Yeah.
But I have seen this more often. Like okay, Amazon FBA is dead. Don't do it in 2025. So what is your take on this one? Like to the viewers who is interested in doing FBA from 2025.
I've tried pretty much every business model: drop shipping, TikTok shop, affiliate marketing, whatever online business there is. I've tried most of them. Amazon FBA, I think, is the most legit, long-term, like real business. The rest I would consider more like side hustles: making videos, affiliate marketing, promoting a software, like all these things that people talk about. They're actually like side hustles. But with Amazon, you're building a real brand. So it's more long-term, it's more serious. It's not just a little game you're playing. Like you actually have to brand the product, customize it, buy inventory, ship it to Amazon. It ends up becoming a real company that you own, and you can sell that company one day. So it's definitely not dead. It's just way more difficult than a lot of these quick get-rich schemes that are coming around.
Okay.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff on the internet that are like attractive to people because they think they can make it fast. So that's true. Amazon is not fast, but
Yeah.
it's the most long-term, like real business.
Yeah, because I came across this article or something which said that there were like 2,500 sellers that enter Amazon FBA every day. So the kind of competition, it's increasing quite a lot. Yeah. Do you think that would ever be a challenge to your business going forward?
No, most people that start Amazon, they're not doing it right. That's the problem. Is a lot of them are from China. Actually, they're companies that. This is the funny thing. The company in China, they'll sell you the product and they'll obviously mark it up. They'll sell the same product on Amazon. So you're competing with your supplier, which
Okay.
is crazy. But our advantage is these companies in China do not make good brands. If you go on Amazon right now, anybody watching this, type in any product that you want, read some of the brand names. They don't even make sense. They're like 12 letters bunched together, like QXTVZ, like it's like these random ass names that don't make sense because the companies in China are just launching products like this without really focusing on making a premium product. So it's not necessarily bad competition, I would say. It's just a lot of different products that you have to compete with, but it's easy to compete with them if you make it better. They're not really focusing on making it better. They're just quickly launching stuff.
Also, there are agencies, they create the FBA stores for you. I have a client called Tree Road, and he takes money from people and he create the shop, and his VAs are running the shop for others. How do you think that strategy is working? Like, is it successful or
What I would say to that is I have never met a person who had success with that.
with that?
Yeah, I have not met a person, and I know everybody in the Amazon space. I mean, at least from my travels and being in the space for 5 years, I know a lot of coaches in the space.
Okay.
I don't know one person who succeeded with buying one of those stores. I actually bought 2 of those stores and they failed. So if you're wondering why would I buy them, it's because they're fully automated. You just pay some company, and a lot of them do wholesale. So they're selling you like a wholesale store where they just buy these brand name products, like I said, like Prime energy drink, Red Bull. Like they're buying these stuff from stores and reselling it for you. So they're fully automated. I paid for 2 of the stores. They both got suspended. Amazon's really strict, and long story short, I've had nobody ever tell me they bought a store and it worked. So I think if it's too good to be true, it's probably not going to work.
So you have to always build from the scratch, right?
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So like, could you briefly explain how the whole process looks like? Yeah. Like from starting a store, marketing it, getting to that profitable net income.
So you have to register a company. That is where we start, right? We need a LLC company, like.
Yeah, the best way to do it is to register your company after you create your company in the US. Then open the Amazon store with the LLC information. Once you do that, the next and only thing somebody should focus on is finding a product to sell.
Okay.
So instead of worrying about all the steps and all the details and watching YouTube videos on ads, which you don't even need to do for the next like 2 months, the only thing they should do is find a winning product using a software. So use a software to find your first winning product. And once you do find that product, then you have to focus on finding a supplier. So Alibaba.com, you find different suppliers, you look at the pictures, the prices, you get some samples shipped over to you. And once you decide which one you like, then you make your brand. So now you have to customize it. You have to make it better, like Kylie Cosmetics, like Prime, like these brands that they've made. They just took that product that existed and put their name on it. So you have to also put a name on it, make it look better, add a logo. Once you do that, you have your supplier. You just explain to them what to do. So they do everything. Then they ship everything to Amazon. Once it's there, Amazon basically does everything else at their warehouses. What you have to do is you have to actually make your listing. So your pictures, your product description, basically what is your product, you have to make that all on Amazon on your account. So you create everything, and then once it's active, people start buying it on Amazon, and Amazon does all the work, shipping it, customer service, emails, they do everything.
So the product will be kept on Amazon warehouse,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, Amazon's warehouse, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So according to what is a green flag for a product? For example, like recently I have seen a trend on the Stanley cups, yeah? So do you also sell like trending products, or like you dive into something that is people use daily, like daily use products, or like trending products, I would ask?
No, on Amazon, we stay away from trending products because we don't want something that's trending and we have to buy inventory. We have to work so hard to make it get on Amazon. We don't want something that in 3 months is going to die. So we don't do anything that's trending unless it's like a trend that you know is going to stay for like the next years, like an innovative product that is not going to go away. But the Stanley Cup, whole hype around that went away. Fidget spinners, fidget toys, things like that, they're like 3 months lifespan and they die. So you don't want to have stuff like that on Amazon. You want stuff that 4 years from now people are still going to buy.
So, Sal, if I want to start a store today, like how much it costs, like from registering the company till listing the product?
I recommend, if considering you have a coach or you already know how to do it yourself, so aside from the educational cost, just selling on Amazon, if you want to launch a product successfully, I recommend around $4,000 to $5,000. Now, there's no right answer. Like somebody might be listening to this and they might say, that's stupid, I've done it for $2,000. Or somebody else might say it's at least $10,000. I've taught hundreds of people how to do it. I've chosen their products for them. So I've seen like actually physically what my clients have done. It's between 3 to 5K. That's what it costs to get inventory, get it shipped, create your brand, everything all together, like all the cost. Around 3 to 5K is the average. I've seen people get more success when they have a little bit more of a budget. So if you have like 6 to 8K, it opens you up more to like, more expensive products. Maybe it costs more to ship it, more to produce it, but you're also going to sell it for more. So I've had those members of mine make the most amount of money that have had a little bit of a bigger budget. But 6 to 8K is like the maximum I've seen.
So, okay. Right now, how many stores you have?
I only have one store. So
Okay.
the thing with Amazon is you don't have to actually open like 5-6 different stores. You have one store, and in that general store you can have 20 different brands.
Okay.
You can have 30 different brands. You can have hundreds of products. So I did have those like wholesale stores that I opened, which were like automated with like my brother's name and things like that. Won't get into that, but those stores I don't have anymore. They were the automated ones that I paid for. But the original store that I started selling on Amazon with, you just add more products to it.
Okay.
So you can have a pet brand, a cosmetics brand, a baby brand, a toy brand, whatever you want to make a brand out of, you can have them all under one store.
Okay. So,
And for all these products, you only need one registration for the company, yeah?
Yeah. One registration, one LLC, and then all your products will go under it. So it's not as difficult as people make it seem. I think a lot of people get confused with wholesale, where you have to every day be looking for new products. Because let's say you find the best source for, let's just use this. Like you find the best source for these red cups. People are always buying these on Amazon.
Yeah.
Let's say you get them for a crazy price, and this company sells you like 15,000 units. So congratulations, you found that, you put it on Amazon, you shipped it, they're going to sell, and then they're going to be gone. Now you don't have anything to sell. So if you're doing wholesale, you need to always find new products. It's the work doesn't end with wholesale. And you could have the best suppliers or distributors or whatever you call them. The work just does not end. You have to always, every day, be finding new stuff to sell, because there's limited amounts of what you can buy. You can't go buy unlimited amounts of this. Somebody's going to sell you 10,000 of them, and that's it. It's gone. With the product that you make when you do private label, it's one company you're buying from that can make it as many as you want for as long as you want. So you can be making 10,000 pieces every day if you wanted and sending it to Amazon. The supply is unlimited because you literally manufacture it.
Okay.
So it's not as much daily work every day.
So other than paying to the product, are you paying on ads, or are you paying to Amazon to run the store? Is there any fees like that?
Yeah, there's Amazon takes a percentage of your sales for doing all the fulfillment for you.
Sales
Because you're
commission, right?
Yeah, sales commission, and also fees for shipping your product, doing customer service, handling the shipping and everything like that. There's a lot of different fees that come in, but what I would say to make it easy to understand is, on average, we're making about 25% profit. So if you want to make it easy and not get into details about how much could I possibly make, you can just find out how much products we're making on Amazon and take 25% of that as a ballpark estimate for the average of what we're making in profit, just to make it easy. Because there's PPC, there's Amazon FBA fees, shipping fees, but 25% profit is average.
Okay. So coming back to your story, you were running your store in America for how many years?
Not too long, actually. So I actually, when I launched my first product, I saved enough money from Uber. So I was driving for Uber. I saved enough money. I paid the company in China. And once I paid them, everything that I had to pay for was done. I paid my mentor. I paid the product. I paid the shipping. Every expense that I had was done. I had already branded the product. I had my trademark. I had everything was already done, right? My LLC was set up. So I had no expenses left. At that point, I decided to sell everything I owned. And I mean everything. Like my shoes, my Xbox, everything I owned, I sold. I had 4,000 total in cash for my entire life. And I moved to Colombia with that.
Colombia.
The country Colombia.
Why Colombia?
I went there, I'm gonna be honest, because I was watching Narcos on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah. And it was very interesting to me. I just wanted to go see what Colombia was about. So that's what interested me in it. But also during this time, I was doing 75 Hard, and I was on this super serious personal development journey. And I wanted to just get away from my environment. I wanted to live somewhere else, out of America.
What year it was?
Close to 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
Okay, before Corona.
Yeah, right before Corona.
Okay.
Yeah, before Corona happened, I moved to Colombia, and like I said, I barely had any money. My entire life savings left was 4,000. So I took that 4,000, moved to Colombia, and I was living in hostels for $6 a night.
Okay.
I remember my first night in Colombia, I got there late, 1 a.m. I had never left the country to live alone before.
Okay.
So I have my little backpack. I'm a backpacker now. That's everything I had in my life that I owned on my backpack with 4,000 cash, and flew to Colombia. Went to my hostel. I walk in, and it's a dorm with 6 guys, and the 6 guys are all sleeping, and there's no air condition, and it smells like crap in there.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is my new life. So I get in there and I lay down in the bed, but I didn't look at anything and feel upset or angry at the situation I was in. I wanted to go and do that. I wanted to just focus all my time and energy on building the business and changing my environment. So I would wake up in hostels. They're actually good work environments, I would say, because most people that are doing this, they're digital nomads. They're trying to save money on expenses and focusing on their business, which is what I did. So I would wake up, by the way, breakfast was included with $6. So I had free breakfast. So I'd have my breakfast, work on my laptop all day, and in the evening, go explore. I was exploring Colombia, going to different cities, basically just enjoying the new experience that I had in Colombia while building the brand.
So was it expensive to live there?
No. It was the cheapest place I've ever been.
The
Because
fact that you mentioned 75 Hard, did you fulfill it?
the first time I did it, I did fulfill it.
Okay.
the first time I was just, it's like this moment in my life where no matter what I said I would do, I was going to do it. Like I said, I'll do 75 hard. I accomplished it very easily my first time. I wanted to read a book a week. I read it very easily. I woke up at 5 a.m. every day. It was like, I was also, during this time, I was vegan. And I'm not vegan anymore, and I wouldn't be vegan again.
Okay.
But I was just on this like path of, I can do anything I set my mind to. And I literally told myself, I'm never going to do drugs again. And I mean, years later I did, of course, but during that time I never did it again. So I quit drugs. I became vegan.
Okay.
I was doing 75 hard. I was waking up at 5 every day. And imagine if somebody's doing all these things, how are they going to possibly fail? Like I wanted to succeed so bad. I changed everything in my life, my environment, my friends. I didn't listen to music anymore. I only listen to podcasts. And it's like the typical guru stuff you hear that now people make fun of. They're like even the big name people in the space, like you guys know Alex Hormozy
Yeah, I know.
and Gary Vee, and they say stuff like, you know, you don't need a fucking morning routine. You don't have to wake up at 5. You don't have to do a 3-hour morning routine. Just get up and do the work.
Yeah.
That's true if you're already mentally prepared and you're at that level of development where you can wake up and work. But I wasn't there. If I woke up, what was I going to work on? I had to first get myself to that level. So I was waking up at 5 to teach myself discipline. I was plant-based to make sure I was eating healthier. I was doing 75 hard to make sure I'm reading every day, taking a cold shower every day. So I did all those typical stuff that they laugh at now, but that's what helped me get to where I am because I was so disciplined with the routine.
Okay. No, you mentioned being you did a lot of drugs, then coming into such kind of a lifestyle with so much discipline, waking up at 5 a.m. Was there some philosophy, some self-development, some books or something that helped you along the journey to have this kind of a discipline?
Yeah, it's the most typical book you'll hear gurus talk about. It was Think and Grow Rich.
Thinking about it.
Yeah, and actually, the only reason I had that book is this was the other thing that made me a little upset about my coach. And by the way, like I said, he's a good friend of mine, and now I see why he made me do these things. But when I paid him $10,000, I thought he's gonna start teaching me Amazon. The first week, all he did is tell me to buy this book and read it. And he said, read the book and then report back to me. I'm like, okay, I just paid this guy $10,000 and he said, read the book. So I'm reading Think and Grow Rich, and I'm so excited to like get into the mentorship. I finished it in 3 days, and I'm like, hey, I finished it. He's like, good job, read it again. And I was scared to like, you know, like basically like ask him why or like doubt his like mentorship. So I was like, yes sir, like I'll read it again. So I read it a second time. I'm like, hey, I finished it. He's like, okay, now we can discuss it. And then he went through the book with me, and that actually worked. It changed my entire mindset, my philosophy, the way I thought about like how to achieve success. Everything changed after I read that book 2 times.
Okay. Now that you mentioned you read the book 2 times, could you give some key takeaways from the book?
Yeah. So number 1, like the biggest takeaway was basically just having goals. And I understood that before this, I didn't really have, I didn't know how to set goals properly. I had what most people have, which is hopes and dreams. Most people, they dream about the Lamborghini. They hope one day they make it. They don't even know what making it looks like. They hope they have the private jet life. And, you know, most people we know, they're hoping and wishing and praying that one day these things come. Those are not goals. Goals are like when you actually write down what you want and you decide and commit that this is exactly what I'm going to do, and you put a date to it and you commit that I'm going to actually make this happen by this date. So when I was that Uber driver, I was living in my parents' living room. Basically, I had nothing, right? I had no money. I was an Uber driver. I was 25 years old, by the way. So it was pretty embarrassing at that age to be in my parents' living room. And I wrote down every day that I'm going to be traveling the world making $25,000 in a month. So I wrote that down every single day. And how did it happen that in my 3rd month, I made $25.2 thousand? Not 26, not 24. I made $25,000 my 3rd month ever on Amazon. And that's the exact thing that I was writing down every single day when I was broke. I got that from the book. It said, write down your ultimate goal, your burning desire, that if this happened, it would help you achieve everything you want in your life. And for me, the biggest things I wanted was to travel and make $25,000 in a month. And exactly the way I wrote it down, it happened.
Okay. And the second takeaway?
Second takeaway would be changing your environment and having the right people around you. That was huge to me. A lot of things he taught in the book is how a lot of people are allowing too much general knowledge to be in their mind and surrounding themselves with people and like believing what they believe. And it's all the wrong advice and the wrong people, and it's not where you want to be.
Okay.
So creating a mastermind for yourself. And what I liked about it was maybe you don't have a group of friends that are millionaires and have huge companies, but how can you make that without knowing those people? You can go on YouTube. You can read their books. You don't have to know like Alex Hormozy. He's one of the best in business. You don't have to be his friend to consider him in your mastermind. You can watch all his YouTube videos and read his book. You don't have to know who, for example, if you wanted to be one of my clients, you don't have to know who I am. You can go watch this podcast. You can go watch my YouTube videos. You can go read what I've written on Instagram and make me become one of your people in your mastermind to learn from. So I did that. I started surrounding myself only with people that I wanted to be like by watching their YouTube videos, reading their books. And that's all I did every day was like think about these things and what they're teaching me.
You know, I have seen a video where this guy is saying you had to take the most expensive gym membership to meet such people, because they don't go to the gym that everyone goes. They take the most expensive gym membership. Yeah, so I have seen some videos.
And travel in a business class.
So you were watching Alex Hormozy or?
No, back then he wasn't even
that is what
big.
I was thinking.
No, back then he wasn't that big. I was listening to Bob Proctor a lot.
Okay.
Bob Proctor, I would consider. I never met the guy.
He passed away.
Yeah, he passed away, but I think he would be. I would consider him my number one mentor that I learned from regarding the law of attraction, the universe, and just generally how to change your life. Because I signed up for his seminars. I did actually join his seminars online that were live.
Okay.
It's like a 3-day event. You pay like $100. I joined them like twice. I read his books. I read everything he ever posted online. I studied him religiously. I mean, not to offend anybody, but basically I was calling him my God. That's how much I trusted this guy.
Okay.
Like he was my God in life and I was going to succeed because of the things he was teaching. It wasn't like faith or whatever. It was just the things he was teaching I knew would help me. So I studied him like religiously. And yeah, he definitely changed my life. So
you were watching his videos all day?
Yeah. But, when I woke up, this was my morning. It's not anymore, but this was my morning routine when I was like on this phase. I would wake up at 5 every single day, and I did your typical, like I said, what they laugh at these days. I did a 20-20-20 method, which I learned from the book, The 5 a.m. Club. That's another book I really, really like. So in the 5 a.m. Club, you break down the first hour of your day into 3 20-minute phases. And each 20 minutes has something important. So you got to move your body, go to the gym, read, journal, and listen to a podcast or something that's going to educate you. So every single day I was doing this. I was waking up, going for a jog, doing push-ups, doing something outdoor. For 20 minutes, I was just moving a lot. So either jogging, running, push-ups, whatever. I would come home, I would write down my goals, which again was the same thing every single day. I had like 3 main goals that I would write down. One of them was I'm traveling the world and making $25,000 in a month. So I was writing down my goals, journaling my thoughts, and then I would read one of these books like Think and Grow Rich or 5 a.m. Club. So I did that every single day for months and months and months. So I was doing that, and right after I would actually start work, which was technically building my Amazon brand. And at break time or anything like that, I was listening to podcasts.
And you were living in the same hostel in Colombia, or did you move out?
No, I traveled as much as I could throughout different hostels. There was one hostel I went to, it was in Minca, Colombia, where it wasn't even an actual hotel. It was basically like a shack with like little like almost like, what do they call it, where you're sleeping in, not in a tent, but it's like hanging to 2 trees and you're sleeping in a hammock. I was sleeping in a hammock for a week. So I had a hammock and there was a public bathroom where you had to walk down to it. And you walk down, shower, brush your teeth, and then walk back up to this hammock. And my stuff was like right there on the floor. So I even slept in that for a whole week. And I would do it again. I enjoyed it. But that's the type of condition that I was like in, where I didn't care about luxuries. I didn't care about expensive things. I was staying in a hammock for a week, but it was because I was up in the mountain. And I went there to get more in tune with like meditating and being more with nature. So it was like deep in the mountains. So yeah, I did that for a week.
Oh, you were paying for that, or was it?
No, that was like $5 a night also.
Okay.
Yeah.
$5 in a day. Okay. Then after that, you came back to us, or like were your parents calling you, just come back, Sal, you don't have to do that? Did they say that? Something
yeah,
like
so I only went back because I ran out of money. So the only reason I went back is after a few months, I completely ran out of money. And I remember I had to call my mom and explain to her that I paid for everything for my business. I basically all the expenses I had are done. I'm just waiting for the product to arrive to Amazon and I
Okay.
can start selling it. So it's okay that I ran out of money, but I can't come home now because I can't buy a flight. So my mom bought my flight. I flew back to America. Right when I fly back, COVID hits. Like
Okay.
literally that week, COVID hit. Or it probably was already coming around, but that's when it first started coming to the news. So I saw the news and I'm like, what's this COVID thing? And I found out COVID's about to shut the whole world down.
So
And did that help your business or?
I think it helped a lot of people who were doing Amazon at the time because we couldn't go to the supermarket anymore. We literally couldn't leave our house. So everybody started buying things on Amazon.
Okay.
I don't remember clearly if they even stopped Amazon deliveries at the time, but I do know Amazon sales skyrocketed. Everybody was buying everything on Amazon.
Okay.
Somehow they were getting it delivered, but we couldn't go to the stores for a good amount of time.
Okay.
And during this time, people had to just buy stuff online.
Okay. Now, you being a successful Amazon seller, you mentioned that you travel a lot, yeah? So I'm curious to know more about how your day looks like, how much time you spend on your laptop per day, what do you do in a day, yeah?
Yeah, right now it's been a little hectic. The last 2 years, I haven't had a home base. So I actually have not had a place I call home. The last place I did call home was Dubai. I did live there long term. I did have an apartment for over like 16 months. So I was living there most of my time. But once I left Dubai, I just started bouncing around. So since then, I've lived in Russia. I lived in America for a few weeks just to visit my family. So I would leave America, go back to Dubai for a month. I would leave Dubai, go to a different country. Like I'm living in Turkey right now for the next 2 weeks. So I have an apartment in Turkey for 2 weeks. Right now I'm here with you guys in Poland. So I'm here for a few days. And then I'm going to go back to Turkey. Then I'm flying to America. I'll be there for 2 weeks again. Then from there, I'm going to be flying to Dubai. I'm going to live there for a month. And my plan is to go to Russia after that. So it's like this because I just decided I want to explore different places. And it's like what really makes you happy.
Okay.
Making me happy is exploring different countries. It's like exciting.
Do you still reinvest in FBA or like you have diversified your investment to some other, like maybe in Dubai? You said you were in Dubai, so into some real estate or something.
Yeah,
So-
it took a while. So for the first few years, I only did FBA and I didn't take my attention off of it. The funny thing is, I remember this clearly, is a lot of people always say, and my friends back then used to tell me, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income.
Yeah.
And you've probably heard this, but you've also probably heard the like opposite of that is that they didn't have 7 streams when they started. They only had 1.
Yeah.
I don't know any millionaires that woke up and they had 7 companies.
Yeah.
They started with 1, and if you think about that person, you know they're experts at one thing. Like most of my very successful friends, when I think of them, they're known for one thing. It's either Amazon or real estate or drop shipping or trading or crypto. They're all known for one thing, but now they might have 7 different streams of income just because they have so much money that they can throw a little bit here, a little bit there. They can hire a team to do something for them. They can have somebody manage Airbnb rentals for them, but they're not actually building and focusing 100% on each of those. They just have the money to like invest into them. So for the first few years, I only did FBA. It wasn't until like last year, I would say, that I got into crypto just a little bit. From being in Dubai, all my friends there are in crypto. So I started investing into crypto, and then we have not actually purchased any real estate yet. I know it's contrary to what most people say is make sure you buy property, make sure you invest back into real estate. For me, it's just I don't know where I want to buy property to live in long term, and I just don't want to deal with learning about having rental properties right now.
Okay.
It's something I'll do, but as of right now, I haven't. So yeah, mostly FBA.
Okay, so your assets are now in crypto, yeah?
Yeah, actually now a lot of it is in crypto.
So Sal, we were talking the other day about how cities are not safe in the US. That is why you are leaving the country and just visiting often. Can you tell us about that? Like how was US 10 years ago and what it is like now? It is not safe to walk. I have seen CEOs are getting shot.
Yeah.
So many incidents like that. And I was posting the other day like New York had 5 days without any shooting, and you commented that. That is amazing. Like, yeah. So like you were from California, right? So the cities are not safe, right?
The easiest way, there's so much I can say about this. And
Okay.
all my friends and everybody I know that I grew up with, they're so proud to be American and they love America, and that's totally fine. Like I'm also proud to be American, but I'm not excited to live in America for these reasons. Number one, what you just said. In the last 5 days, this was like a few days ago, the streak ended after 5, by the way. So for 5 days in a row, New York had no shootings where anybody died. How is that something to be proud of?
Yeah.
How in 5 days nobody died? Congratulations, it's such a great city. On the 6th day, somebody died.
Yeah.
I don't want to live there. And a lot of people will just, what's happened is everybody's normalized to this stuff. Everybody becomes so normalized to the crime, the homelessness, the drug use, the shootings. All this stuff is so normalized, and you won't hear about it on this side of the world. A lot of people I meet, they can't wait to go to San Francisco. San Francisco is the last place on earth I would invite anybody to go to. I felt safer in Medellin, Colombia. I felt safer in Tijuana, Mexico, because people behave like humans. And in San Francisco, you're not going to get that type of treatment. There's a very good chance that you're going to have your car smashed into. Every single day, there's videos being posted of tourists going to San Francisco, and their rental car got busted, and they took their luggage, and they ran away. And the police will not do anything because it's so normalized. It's like a part of life. And the people who live there, they're okay with it because it's normal. For me, it's disgusting and it's not normal, and I just choose not to be a part of it. Like, why would I want to go somewhere when I wake up and my car might be hit? Somebody might pull a gun to my head and try to steal from me. Like, this actually happens there, and I don't want to deal with this. So yeah,
You
To
had
me,
any
it's-
personal experience like that?
every car I ever owned
Mm.
in California
Mm.
either got robbed, like somebody stole it,
Okay.
or they smashed into it. The first Camaro that I purchased, I was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My dad actually bought this car for me. So when I was 18 years old, my dad bought me a Camaro
Okay.
from the Transformers movie. It
Mhm.
just came
Yeah.
out, right?
Mm.
So my dad bought this car. It's brand new, super nice, like big rims. I wake up to drive it to school. I was in high school. I wake up to go to high school the next morning. The rims are completely gone. My car is sitting on bricks.
Wow.
Like they took the whole rims off.
Mm.
And I call the police. They're like, well, we can't do anything about it. There's no cameras on the street. No one's going to say anything. No one's going to call report this to anybody. Obviously, I had insurance. They paid for it. But who wants to deal with that? That was my first car. Every car I had either got stolen or smashed. The window got smashed. Every friend that I have has probably got their car smashed into. Like I'm telling you, it's normal and people are okay with it. I have never experienced this anywhere else in the world. In Dubai, we don't even lock our house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had an apartment for 12 months in a row where I barely left Dubai. And while I lived there, I would just walk out. My door was open. My door was open with my money inside, my cash, my laptop, whatever you could think of was inside. I would just leave and come back, leave and come back. I never locked my house. I would go to the gym, my window's down, the car's open, go have a nice peaceful workout. California, you go to the gym, your car might be gone when you come out. If your car's not gone, it's definitely smashed into if it's a nice car.
Okay.
But why do you think that US is going down like this in this aspect?
I'm not too much into politics, so I know it definitely has to do with politics. But for example, in California, up until recently, crime was legal. You could literally steal up to $950, and the police would not do anything because they were told not to because there was a bill passed or whatever. Governor Newsom created this policy in California where up to $950, it's not a serious crime.
Yeah.
So all these people are going into the expensive stores, Louis Vuitton, all the malls. They're literally walking in with no fear, grabbing expensive stuff and walking out, and nobody's stopping them because they can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
And
you know
they're
what,
they're instructed not to touch them. So you can just watch them. You can walk into Louis Vuitton, grab stuff and walk out. And the security is not allowed to touch you.
We talked about this topic in one of our last episode because there was one store, I don't remember the name, but they tagged every product with a price above 950.
Yeah.
And they're giving the discounts when they purchase, and they are putting the lower prices so that the thief don't come and take the product.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the way it is, like, why would you want to be in that situation if you can go live in a place where it's like people behave like humans? To me, it's a zoo. When I think of the way California is being run, it's destroyed to the point where I literally call it the zoo. When I get there, I'm like, I'm landing back in the zoo Think about this. I was in Dubai for 16 months. I had not actually visited America for a while. The first time I flew back to California after living in Dubai, the first time I flew back, it was for my birthday. Before I even get out of the airport, they took my luggage somewhere inside of the terminal. The people that worked there, they took my luggage and stole my shoes and some other belongings out. I had
People
some
who are
like,
working in the airport,
the people that were working in the airport.
Okay.
They stole my shoes and a couple other expensive things. I didn't notice. I got to my hotel and my bag felt light. I open it and my stuff is missing. I call the airport and they actually told me we can't do anything about it. Like
Damn.
So it's
you don't
it's
have cameras
so
in the
normalized.
airport. Like you cannot just check the camera and see which employee stole it and then fire the employee and give you my stuff back. They literally said we can't do anything about it. I drove back to the airport. I found the police in the airport and I told them, "Sir, I just arrived after a long time. My stuff got stolen." The actual police in the airport told me we can't do anything about it. This happens all the time.
Okay.
This is life in America.
During the BLM movement, people were like attacking the stores and taking everything.
Yeah,
It happened
yeah.
during the BLM movement. Yeah. So, what part of America is safe? If you have to live in a part, which one would you choose?
If I had to live there right now, and I say if I had to, because I would not unless I really had to, probably be Miami. I have a lot of friends that live there now, a lot of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And I haven't been there myself, like to live there, but I have not heard bad things about Miami. So just because I haven't heard bad things, a lot of my entrepreneur friends that are American live there. I assume it's the nicest place to be, especially for like my
The
lifestyle.
entire
and-
Florida or just Miami alone?
I just have friends in Miami.
Okay.
I don't know about the entire Florida. So my friends are mostly there that are in my space or they're entrepreneurs. But like California, I can't stand it.
Okay.
Can't stand the way it's being run. And if you want to buy deodorant, you have to go to the store and ask the representative to come open a locked cage to buy deodorant. Think about it. How is this normal life if you can't even go to the store and grab deodorant and go pay? You have to stand there and push a button, and the lady has to come with the key and open a cage to give you a $7 deodorant because it's a zoo and everybody's stealing.
Damn.
Like that is terrible way to live, but it's become normalized and people are okay with it. I hate it. I can't stand it. I want a normal society where I can go buy shampoo and deodorant and pay and walk out. But that's the way it is. Another thing, I was living in one of the best spots in San Diego, California. It was one of my dreams to actually live in San Diego a long time ago, since I was a child. Finally moved there when I made money with Amazon, and this is recent. It's like 2.5 years ago when I lived in Miami. I had a brand new apartment that was just opened in a very nice area, like very, very nice area, police everywhere. There was 3 Starbucks that were walking distance to my apartment. So I can go in either direction, and there was 3 different Starbucks locations. By the time I lived there, before I left, all 3 Starbucks shut down. You know why?
Why?
Because people are walking in, homeless people, stealing people's Starbucks, causing a mess, basically sitting down with a bunch of their stuff that they're homeless, they're bringing it inside of Starbucks.
Okay.
So first, they made a policy where you can't sit inside Starbucks anymore, like anybody.
That recently they made
Yeah,
it, right?
you can only walk in, get your coffee, and walk out. That was the first step. I'm like, that's fine. At least I can go still get my coffee.
Yeah.
Second, they started shutting down the Starbucks. Before I left, all 3 Starbucks around my apartment were all shut down.
Okay.
That's in like a nice place, San Diego, California. Now, again, why would I want to live in a society where I can't even go drink a coffee and work inside of a Starbucks because there's criminals around, homeless people around. There's people, you can walk to Starbucks and people are doing drugs on the side of the road as you're walking, and it's normal. It's like police are not going to do anything about it because it's a part of life now there.
I have seen videos of people doing drugs in the street. I think the streets of Philadelphia, something like that. Like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I think why Biden was sending all this money to Ukraine. He could have fixed all these people, and that was crazy. And also, Sal, what's your take on all the people having guns? There are people owning without license. I think you can own guns without license in the US, right?
No, it's illegal to have it without it being registered to you.
Okay.
But I think the big thing with the guns and people being on either side of the gun issue is if they do, which is not going to happen, if they do take away the right to actually bear arms, if they try to make it illegal to own weapons,
Okay.
it's just going to be for the people who are actually legally going to buy them. The criminals are going to have their guns either way. Like drugs are banned and people are still going to do drugs.
Yeah.
If you ban guns, the criminals are still going to have their guns. You're
Yeah,
just going to take away the safety of the normal citizens who are trying to have a normal life from protecting themselves.
Yeah.
So it's a very bad thing to do, I would say, because either way, criminals are going to do what they do. They're going to have their guns.
I think people are not afraid of the law like in Dubai or any
Yeah, that's true.
GCC countries. That's why, that is one of the reasons. Maybe that is why they are just free to do everything. Even like every year one artist gets shot. Like Nipsey Hussle got shot, and a lot of people are dying. Like these famous
A
celebrities.
lot of those things happen in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And it's a part of the culture and it's a part of life that people have become normalized to. And obviously nothing's going to be done about it because it's a part of the culture now.
Okay. Yeah. So you have been to 14 countries so far, right?
I've lived in 14 countries. Yeah, like Colombia, I lived there for 3 months. And actually, once I started making money on Amazon, the first thing I did when I started making a lot of money, I actually moved back. But this time I didn't stay in hostels.
Okay.
I was like, this time I'm going to stay in the nice hotels and the nice Airbnb. So I went back for a few months and did it the opposite way of backpacking. So I stayed in like really nice hotels, Airbnbs, traveled to different cities that I haven't been to. So I lived there for another few months. Then I moved to Greece. I lived in, this is a place you go for vacation, but I lived in Greece for like 2 months.
2 months.
So I was in Mykonos for a month, Santorini for a couple of weeks. I was there for a while. Then Dubai.
Okay.
And then I was recently in Russia for a month. So usually I go everywhere for like a month or two.
You don't have your company registered any of these countries. You have only it in the US, right?
Yeah, the U.S. because of the laws. No matter where you go as a U.S. citizen, you still have to pay taxes.
Okay.
And if you do form a company and open a bank in a different country, you have to report it, and it's like you can't run away from the taxes.
Okay.
I mean, there are ways to do it, but it's not. Most people aren't doing it.
Okay.
So what's your future plan with e-commerce, like FBA, and are you gonna do more brands or
I think now we're focusing on launching more newer products on TikTok Shop. Now that we know it's not banned, it's like the best opportunity I would say right now is learning how to do TikTok Shop, how to be an affiliate for TikTok Shop if you're not at a place to actually launch a product. So everything regarding TikTok Shop is the hype for a good reason right now. It's not just like the flashy new thing, I would say. It's actually legitimately the best opportunity right now is to create a brand, sell it on TikTok Shop, or if you don't have the money, become an affiliate for those brands. Those are the top 2 things I would say we're going to focus on this year.
Okay. So do you know anyone who makes a lot of money doing Amazon affiliate? Because I tried it when I was starting the business. I tried Amazon affiliate and I was making money, but not a lot. I made like very less.
No, Amazon affiliate, I don't know anybody that does it, and I wouldn't say you would make a lot of money doing it because the easiest way to explain the 2 differences is with Amazon, people only go there to buy something they want. So if you want a new blow dryer for your hair, you're going to open Amazon, you're going to type in blow dryer, you're going to find the one you like, you're going to buy it, and you're going to leave. That's it. That's the whole customer journey. But with TikTok, you're not looking for anything. You're just scrolling, you're being entertained with all these things in the world, and then boom, you see a video of somebody with a brand new blow dryer that's cordless and has all these features, and it's not an ad. It's like a regular girl using this product, and she's like, oh my God, it was the best thing I ever bought. I love it. By the way, it's on discount for the next like 24 hours. Just find it below if it's still there. Now, it's like the opposite of traditional marketing. A regular girl just told you she bought this thing and she loves it, and now you want it. You click, you buy it, and you keep scrolling, and you see another one. And that's the whole new way of shopping on TikTok Shop is regular people are promoting products. Amazon affiliate, no one's going to be looking for your stuff because no one's scrolling on Amazon.
Also, you're teaching these things, right? Amazon FBA, you're teaching, and Are you also teaching the TikTok marketing or?
Yeah, we did. We just created an entire program for TikTok Shop. We haven't launched it yet, but we did launch the TikTok affiliate. I had one girl join TikTok affiliate where she had never done it before, so she wanted to make money online, and she didn't have money to start a brand.
Okay.
So she basically had no money. She started TikTok affiliate, and her first 3 videos got enough views to where she made $26,000 in revenue from commissions and the videos that she promoted those products in.
Okay.
So just posting videos on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
26,000.
So are you also teaching Amazon FBA? That's a different program, or you still have that? Or?
Yeah, we still have the Amazon FBA program. It just depends on who the person is. If you're somebody who has a very low budget or you have no money, do TikTok affiliate. If you're somebody who has more of a budget and you want like a long-term business, do Amazon FBA.
How much are we talking? Like 5K or?
Amazon FBA, yeah, like 4 to 5K. Yeah.
Okay. So how much are you selling these courses for, or the program?
Our program's actually not that expensive. It's less than $1,000 to enroll.
Okay.
So if you wanted to take my program, learn from me step by step, it's less than $1,000.
So
Yeah.
it's for the mentorship.
Yeah, for the mentorship.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to join Sal's program, check his Instagram, Sal Habibi. Yeah, you can message him and he will send you more details, right?
So you mentioned 4 to 5K to start an Amazon FBA business. So do you have some statistics, like if 100 people start Amazon FBA, what percentage of that would be successful? Like a general statistic.
No, honestly, a lot of people fail doing Amazon FBA because a lot of people are trying to, they get into it with the mindset of, I want to make money quick. I think people have become used to like get rich quick side hustles online.
That's always that.
So a lot of people are just launching the wrong product. They're not making a brand, like I said. They're acting like the companies in China who just quickly launch stuff and they half-ass the process. So a lot of people try FBA. They quickly launch a product, not doing it right. And then they lose their money and they go around saying Amazon FBA doesn't work, or it's too saturated, or it's too late, or it's dead.
Okay.
But they just didn't do it right. If you do it right, then chances are you could actually be the best on the first page. You can be the best in your niche, and you can make a lot of money doing it. But imagine how many people are actually becoming that top dog in their niche. There's obviously just a few people. So success rate to make a lot of money is low because most people aren't putting in the effort.
Okay. So if you follow the right way, like you mentioned, it's possible for anyone to make money through FBA. There's not like only the skilled, some certain percentage of that can make money. It's like
No, you don't have to
anyone-
have any skills before. You
Okay.
don't have to know about business before. Everybody that tries, they've never actually launched anything before. They just come for the first time and learn and launch their first product.
Okay. So
Okay.
it's following the process and the consistency that make you win, yeah?
Yeah, and the effort to building a real brand.
Mhm.
That's very important, is building a real brand. Not just launching some generic stuff on Amazon, but building a real brand, making it stand out, making sure you have good quality, and getting the customer's attention with like your pictures and just standing out in general.
Okay.
So Sal, what is the highest amount of money you made, like in a day?
In a day, the most that we've made in a day has been, it changed. First it was $70,000, and that's the record that I held for a long time. But we did have $110,000 a day.
In a day?
Yeah.
That is
That was-
from different brands or just
From-
one brand?
All my sources of income.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. That was like the record that we've had, and in a month, the most that we've made is 560,000 in 1 month.
Okay, that's great. So which season is good? Like I am also doing e-commerce, and for me it is during Christmas. It is really selling well because I keep my products in my warehouse and I am selling in Polish market. There is a website called Allegro, and we are selling on it. And during Christmas, it is really good, the sales. So
Yeah.
you have any specific seasons or?
Q4 is always the best for everybody.
Okay.
So Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, that's always the best time for all of us, for everybody in e-commerce. And then January is still really good. A lot of
Okay.
people get gift cards for Christmas, Amazon gift cards, so they're on Amazon using the gift cards, buying late gifts, last minute presents. So January is also good. Slows down a little bit, but Q4 is definitely the most prime time.
Okay.
Okay.
And Let's
So
end it. You
let's-
got
yeah.
anything more?
Yeah, so let's wind up.
Yeah.
So Sal, thanks for joining us. So guys, if you have any questions or if you want to join Sal's program, just message him,
Yeah.
and he will send you the links. Or you can also, if you have any doubts about his program, you can ask him, right?
Yeah.
So what's your YouTube channel, Sal?
Sal Habibi.
Okay.
That should be for everything.
Yeah. So
Okay.
just check Sal Habibi. Okay.
Okay. And I have one more comment for my viewers. Like, if some of you guys are doing Amazon FBA, do comment.
Yeah.
Let us know, like, if you are really doing it, and yeah, let us know.
Okay. Before we end, Sal, just one last advice we got a lot of young viewers, aged 15 to 18,
Yeah.
crazy about making money. One last advice to our viewers.
And
yeah?
also, like, the Indian market, right? So they are all making money in INR, Indian rupees. So
Oh, okay.
it's not a lot. So if they want to start the business like that in a cheap way, what would you recommend?
If they're selling in the Indian market,
Yeah. Like, even if they want to come out and make money in US dollar, so sitting in India and making money online, what do you recommend?
if it's specifically on Amazon,
Anywhere. Or you can start with Amazon maybe.
yeah, if you're doing Amazon FBA, America is the best market,
Mm.
and you don't have to live there, but you do have to form a company in America.
Mm.
So you have to do it all the right way.
Is that possible to register a company in America online?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
You
much
can-
it cost?
Around $500.
$500.
Yeah,
Okay.
to register. If you do it yourself, like online, you can also hire an agency like for 800, where they'll do everything for you.
We will get a bank account also, right?
Yeah, you can get a bank account,
Mm.
digital bank account, LLC,
Mm.
everything in America, and then open your Amazon store with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, and
One
last advice, what I would say is to read the book Think and Grow Rich.
Thinking
Yeah.
courage.
And I know it's in different languages. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just had my Uber driver in Russia. He was asking about my story as well, and we went and picked up the book in Russian, so he's reading it now. So
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
There was one more book you mentioned, like 5 a.m.
5 a.m. Club.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. Club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Think and Grow Rich.
That'll teach you the typical guru stuff that I did, which is laughed at now, but I think that
Okay.
helps you change your life.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So yeah, that's it. Thank you, Sal. Thank you for coming here and
It was a nice
joining
session,
us.
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are going back to US or you are going back to?
I'm gonna go to Turkey for 2 more weeks,
Okay.
and then go to the U.S.
Okay.
Pray for me.
Okay.
For my stuff. I'm gonna put like 5 locks on my bags.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
right.
വേറൊരു എപ്പിസോഡിൽ വീണ്ടും കാണാം.
കാണാം.
ഓക്കെ അപ്പോൾ ബൈ.
Thank you.